My instincts were corroborated by the record of doctored intelligence as well as Powell's own passing thoughts. Hubris. Sometime in the days before the UN speech, Senator Joe Biden called Powell. Referring to Powell's UN presentation, Biden cautioned him, "Don't speak to anything you don't know about. That is, don't overstate the evidence." There was silence at the other end. Then Powell replied, "Someday when we're both out of office, we'll have a cup of coffee and I'll tell you why." Why what? Powell didn't explain, but Biden took the remark to mean that Powell was going to present a case about which he had his doubts.
Powell walked into my office, and without so much as a fare-thee-well, he walked over to the window and he said, "I wonder what'll happen when we put 500,000 troops into Iraq and comb the country from one end to the other and find nothing." And he turned around and walked back in his office. And I wrote that down on my calendar, as close to verbatim as I could, because I thought that was a profound statement coming from the Secretary of State, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
While the quotes from both Wilkerson and Biden are telling as to Powell's reservations, true clarity is in connecting the dots between the people and the process.
The administration made statements which I can only describe as dishonest. Well, the conclusion that I ultimately came to was that this was a matter of, as I've called it, faith-based intelligence. They were cherry-picking the information that we provided to use whatever pieces of it that fit their overall interpretation. And worse than that, they were dropping qualifiers and distorting some of the information that we provided to make it seem more alarmist and more dangerous than the information that we were giving them.
Greg Thielman should know he had been Powell's own chief of intelligence when it came to Iraqi weapons of mass destruction. Greg Thielman was a Foreign Service officer for 25 years. His last job at the State Department was acting director of the Office of Strategic Proliferation and Military Affairs, responsible for analyzing the Iraqi weapons threat for Secretary Powell. You and your staff had the highest security clearances.
That's right.
And you saw virtually everything.
That's right.
Whether it came into the CIA or the Defense Department, it all came through your office sooner or later.
Yes.
The New Yorker, August 27, 2003, Kenneth Pollock, a former national security expert on Iraq who generally supported the war, said that what the Bush people did was dismantle the existing filtering process that for 50 years had been preventing policymakers from getting bad information. They created stovepipes to get the information they wanted directly to the top leadership. In every direction, it's painfully obvious what the White House was up to. The trumping of centrifuge scientists by unqualified analysts of the CIA, the repetitive bypassing of protocol in the intelligence process, and even the creation of a shadow intelligence shop at the Pentagon called the Office of Special Plans, OSP for short.
That office was largely invisible to us in the intelligence community because they didn't play in the normal bureaucratic process of making intelligence assessments and reporting on those assessments.
What did you understand that office to be about?
I'm still trying to figure out what that office was about. The office wasn't big enough for them to really have the expertise in-house, and the mere creation of the office was odd since the Secretary of Defense had the entire Defense Intelligence Agency at his disposal. So it's a little mysterious what exactly they were doing.